What's up, everybody? It's the Council of Comics Film and Box Office News, episode 83? 83. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
It's good, Council of Comics. Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, episode number 83. We got a lot to go over. We got X-Men, Bad Bad, so many other things. But when you seen that Transformers 1, oh my.
No.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone, a superhuman, who can come and save my life. Crisis after crisis.
What is good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News, and that's right, we're doing Unbreakable today. Oh my goodness, what a movie, ladies and gentlemen. But as always, it's Sunday afternoon, it's 5 p.m. on the East Coast, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. Please like and subscribe if you have not hit that subscribe button. As with us always, the Council, Cliff, C. Bizzle, Green Shirt Guy, and shout out to Phil, who is out there chilling. Is he he's on a boat somewhere. He's chilling on a boat.
He's on a boat, mother. Don't you never forget.
So shout out to Phil. Enjoy that. All right, before we get into anything,
He's wearing a Nautica Pashmina Afghan.
Let's get into these shout outs. Young at Heart Foundation is run by our good friend Mike out in California. Their motto is faith, trust, belief. And they have two ways that you can help children out on the West Coast awaiting medical procedures. There's two ways you can help. You can become a donor by hitting this register to become a donor button. More than 100,000 people are waiting for a life-saving transplant, and you can help them by registering as an organ donor for Donate at Life America. Way number two, you can sponsor a home kit that's 100% tax deductible. They take all the funds together and make these great little gift boxes for the kids. If you want to help out in another way, give Mike a call at 323-396-9998 or email him at info@youngatheartfoundation.com. Do something nice for his kiddies. Alternaverse, this is our home away from home. It's run by our good friend Anthony, one of the best people out in the comic book universe. It's located in Hyde Park, New York, 870 Violet Avenue. They have comics, cards, and toys. They have the Hudson Valley's biggest selection of comics. All of them are bagged and boarded. They have card tournaments on the weekend. Lorcana, Pokemon, Magic. Great shop. If you want to get in touch with Anthony, and if you haven't started a pull list yet, a pull list is basically telling a shop to hold these books for me when the day comes. You'll get 10% off with Alternaverse. You just have to give Anthony a call at 845-233-4234 or email him at alternaverse2@aol.com. The website is alternaverse.net. There's also AlternaCon 3 coming up May 4th at Alternaverse. This is their annual comic book con. They'll have tons of people there from like Ryan Gary Brown, Christian St. Pierre, our own Green Shirt Guy is going to be there. Our own Steve DeSario is going to be there. Static Rabbit Inc. is going to be there. It's a fun day of vendors, cosplay. Just come on out, have a good time. We're also having Cliff, can you speak about the GoFundMe? Because I'm not too much on the details for that.
Our event organizer Tom, his little sister Harper has been diagnosed with cancer. I think it's leukemia. So we're doing #Harper Strong to pass the word along, and everyone who is attending has put something in for an auction to do to help raise money for the GoFundMe. So I think that's really wonderful. Is including Kevin Conrad, who's basically our guest of honor because he's worked at Marvel, DC, etc. So that's what it's about. Like, please go check it on the website. When you check it out, there are links directly to her GoFundMe as well. And it's on my Instagram page in case you can find it nowhere else.
Excellent. Check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Please, indeed. Next up, we're part of the Sunday legendary lineup, ladies and gentlemen. We got Comic Book Church at 10:45. That was earlier today. The Sunday Sort with Geek Culture was earlier today. We're here at 5 p.m. Council of Comics. Then you got the Sunday Sesh at 6 p.m. Then at 7. Wait, I feel like I said something wrong back here. The Sunday Sort. Who is this? Where?
That's Phil's Treehouse at the Sunday Sorts.
Phil's Treehouse. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't have a logo on there, so I wasn't sure.
Well, that's
Phil's
the name of the
Treehouse
show.
at 4 p.m.
He also does Phil's Treehouse. It's there's two different things.
Okay,
Yeah.
same channel though, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, same channel. All right, and then 6 p.m. the Sunday Sesh. You know how that goes. And then 7 p.m. kicking it with K-pop. And at 8:30 at Week's End. And then Sunday night, cleaning it up. Trev the Shipping Guru and Evil's Comics. Closing out the legendary Sunday lineup. Check it out. All right, our channel, the Council of Comics. We're at 8:30 on our way to 1,000. We have, I haven't put a lot of videos out. We're focusing on the live stuff. I promise you, stuff is coming. We just needed ourselves a little break. We'll talk more about that at the end. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We're only 170 away from the big 1,000. That is a big, big goal for us. Thank you very much. Then we have Cliff on Comics, who's at 680. You got something quick to say, Cliff?
Just, oh my God, I got stuff going on all the time. But look forward to Comics, Coffee, and Cliff on May 4th, which of course I chose a Saturday to debut it. That's action-packed. We got Free Comic Day, May the 4th happening. We got AlternaCon happening. I'm starting a new morning Saturday show. And the 2,000 subscriber giveaway for Rob Badstocks is that same day. It's an action-packed comic book community.
He started out sounding like he had nothing. Come on, Cliff. Come on. All right, check out Cliff on Comics and get subscribed
and
to
May
that.
3rd, the night before,
Oh.
May 3rd, I've got an all-new Crisis Quest with Very Gary Comics and Principal Defects.
All right,
When
you're
are
gonna
we
have to give
doing
me
a council?
schedule?
A
When are we doing what?
council-flavored one? When are we doing a council flavored Crisis?
You know, I kind
Oh.
of wanted to do it for Free Comic Book Day, but there's so much going on, I decided it's a bad idea. But if we do the week after, we could probably do it.
Well,
Send me an invite, my friend. Send me an invite.
could we not just tape it and then release it on Free Comic Book
We
Day?
could do it that way.
Just,
All right, we'll talk
I'm
about that
just
later.
saying.
All right,
I like
We'll
it,
talk
but
about that later.
I feel like there's enough happening that day. I want to leave that day alone.
we'll talk about that later. All right, and Couching and Slouching with C Bizzles at 374. C Bizzle, a little bit about yours, please.
I'm only 26 away from 400. I already have a video plan because I never did a 200 giveaway or a 300 giveaway. I got some stuff I got behind me, some nice giveaways. Little hint, a couple of Gleason's work I'm going to be putting in it. I'll let y'all know a little bit later, but I'll do a lot of unboxings. Also, you catch me tomorrow on New Keys and Hot Comics here at the council. And then Wednesday, I'll be here again for New Comic Book Day. And then I'll be here again next Sunday. So that's where you'll catch me.
All right, excellent. All right, let's see what we got in the comments. We got Las Cruces, 1971, the legendary, always here. Thank you for showing up. Evil's Comics, he's part of the closeout tonight. Thank you for being here. Phil's Treehouse, he's part of the lineup too. Thank you for being here. Meatwad number 1 is in the house. Good afternoon to you as well, Meatwad. Big L, Larry Jackson, hell no. Shout out to you, Larry, for being here. We saw Larry today at the toy show. That was fun. John's Comics with Kids is in the house. Evening to you as well. Canadian Survivalist is in the house. What's good? Thank you for joining us. Circumstances is in the house. What up, homies? Never enough, Cliff. Until you're with us. Circumstances. That's why when Cliff was like, I'm going to do this and that, we're like, have fun with your friends, Cliff.
They don't
ones-
love me.
the
Only
ones
Stevens
never
will love
wait
me
for.
because he's in Texas. That's it.
Legion of Comics is in the house. Thank you very much for being here. Boom, boom. All right. I guess we got to get into some of the stuff that came out this week. Let's see. What do I got here? I got this. We got to talk about it. Transformers 1 trailer came out. We got to talk about it. Everybody here seen it, right?
Nope, I haven't.
You
but I'm
haven't
looking
seen it.
I'm watching this going, what is this?
Exactly. What is this? This is all right. This is the animated Transformers movie that they have been promoting for the last 2 to 3 years that was coming out. It was told to be a prequel to the Transformers. I don't want to say the movies yet because I'm trying to think if they didn't say that then they saved themselves. But I guess a prequel to the Transformers lore.
It's not good.
I'll say that. And
Is
when
that-
it was
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
when it was released, people were more expecting a form of maybe the beginning of Bumblebee, how that was. People were kind of expecting that. But what they received, to some's delight and some's not, is more of a DreamWorks Pixar Transformers.
Is that
And-
Megatron sitting with him with Optimus Prime?
Pre-Megatron.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
they're buddies. They're supposed to be buddies way back. then?
They actually brothers.
They were friends
I mean,
back in the lore. They were.
Yeah.
As far as it being this loose with it, I wouldn't think so.
That's what
This
I'm
is
saying.
directed more toward kids. Let's put it that way.
Clearly, this looks
And-
like if you watch what's that the one that was on Netflix for a while that was a
Oh, the something War for Cybertron or something like that.
no, it was a kids one.
Oh,
Oh,
I know what
There was a
Yeah.
police car, a fire truck, a helicopter.
yes, I know what you're talking about.
What's that, RJ? Rescue bots. This looks like
Yeah.
a step up
Rescue
from
bots,
Rescue Bots.
yes. RJ,
This is like-
clutch.
Just a step higher. Like this is the teenage version of Rescue Bots. It looks like to me,
yeah.
Yeah.
but not
They
even
got-
good.
Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime and Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron. I was okay with the Optimus Prime because it's younger. He's not Optimus Prime, he's Orion Pax. But I was a little disappointed at the voice for Megatron.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Yeah, I was like, no. You know what I mean?
There's no
didn't-
raspiness at all.
Yeah, like it would have felt better if he did have that dark tone of a voice. And
Well, he hasn't
stuff
started
like that.
smoking yet.
What are your thoughts out there, Cliff? I'll start with you.
I mean, it's for children, so it's fine, you know? And why shouldn't it be for children if we want younger people to get into these properties that we love? So it's more of a good thing. I think the shock of it all was everyone really felt like this was being marketed to them as part of the Transformers universe that we know in the movies, and then it turns out to be this, and everyone's like, no. But like in reality, like, go take your kids, go take your nieces, go take your nephews, or go take your ass to another room and watch another movie.
Right. Legion says, hell yes, the Transformers won, so he's a fan for it. Evil
And he's
says,
got 2
not
kids.
really the lore. It's not really. I mean, it's not. It's based off of it. Legion also said Megatron is called D16 for anybody who's not aware. He's D16. Larry, the Transformers man, Prime. Oh, they even mentioned in Rescue Bots. We should pay attention to that comment section more. Let's look forward to him becoming Megatron. The turn will be heartbreaking. I hope so.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of watched the trailer though, like studied it. There's some dope stuff in this trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, maybe they're just showing these little scenes that are, funny to get kids in. But some of the stuff, like you see Starscream on a throne for a little bit.
Mhm.
You see Megatron here.
This thing.
That's pretty deep right there. Like, are we gonna feel for the Decepticons? Like,
I'm so done with that. Not that trope.
Thank you. Can
Can we stop making good guys or bad guys misunderstood?
Thank
People
you.
can be evil, and you should not think all evil is they're just misunderstood.
Exactly. 100% agree.
Bobby De La Ghetto is in the house. Thank you for joining us. Legion says, literally the only original comic art I own is a page from Transformers, the Michael Bay comic even. I love the movies first and foremost. Cool. I wonder if you're excited about G.I. Joe Transformers, but that's another story for when we get more news on that.
They haven't announced who's attached as the Jojo.
No,
Mm-mm.
none
I'll
of
tell you
that
who'd
yet.
make a great Duke, and then you're gonna give me a face. I know is John Cena.
It's too big.
It's okay though. They're gonna do that, especially if they bring The Rock back as.
But John Cena was in the Bumblebee movie.
So
You'd have to change his character like that's been Duke the whole time, which you could do.
you could do that.
Or Duke is the son of that character.
That too.
All right. Anybody else got any other thoughts on this before I move on?
Oh, I want to see it.
It just,
I'm definitely gonna go watch this.
I don't know. It looks okay. I've seen, computer animation that looks much better than this, but it's not terrible.
Look,
The
it's
number one-
not Transformers Paw Patrol, all right? So
No,
that-
100%.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not. And this is not me saying this is bad. I would expect that if they've been waiting to do this for as long as they have, it would look better than this. But it is what it is.
The number one character I'm looking forward to is my favorite character of all pop culture is Soundwave. I got a whole shrine over here.
Soundwave, Megatron.
Yes.
Soundwave,
Okay.
Captain Wreck in the comic books, bro.
Man, the only thing I don't have is the actual Soundwave Transformer. I'm gonna get that hopefully before the end of the year, but I got a lot of other stuff behind me showing my love for Soundwave. So
The only last thing, and it's just a small thing, but it's so annoying, is the fact that I don't want to see Optimus Prime's mouth with lips in any form whatsoever. Just
Don't
no.
disagree.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's not how we were introduced to him. We don't need it because he's become iconic with the face mask. Like, we
Yeah.
don't need to see it. That's just him. But
Well, maybe
that's
there'll
just
be, maybe there'll be Energon COVID, and then he'll have to put it on and keep it on for forever.
And I love how they always like this trope of red, pink, yellow whenever they're making like groups of people, not just Transformers, but like anything. You know what I mean? They like doing that. Shout out to the Power Rangers. Next
But
up,
it's not a green one.
X-Men 97 had a new episode this week. Life, Death Part 2. What it showed is Storm getting her powers back and what she went through to get that back. Along with Forge, and then also shows the return of Professor Xavier. He was out with the Shi'ar Empire, and he basically is about to marry Lilandra. Lilandra wants to introduce him to the Empire. Empire's not having it because they look at humans. They called it the Milky Way Ghetto. I was like, wow, that's wild. Professor X wears a suit that helps him walk. When I'm like, you couldn't heal his legs. In the
You don't
comic
need
books,
to
they
heal his
gave him,
legs.
they made him a whole clone body, and that's what it was.
I
But-
saw the perfect meme about this about 2 weeks ago. That Professor X can move all these things with his mind, but he can't move them to his own body.
He's not
Come
a
on.
power.
No, he's not telekinetic.
thank you.
Okay,
He's not
but-
telekinetic.
Yeah,
He's
Jim,
telepathy.
telekinetics is Gene's specialty.
Yeah, everything he's done is
Gene is
inside
so
the mind.
powerful, everything's her specialty.
Can
Right?
we at least admit that the garbage that they gave us in the movies where he's taking the drugs and that's why he can't do both was nonsense?
Oh yeah, that was nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nonsense.
No,
course.
that's not entirely nonsense. In the comics, his mutant power and his ability to walk, I do have a really bizarre link.
Yeah, but
Like in the
it's
original
rewrite is
animated
what I'm
series, when they get to the Savage Land and that radiation is dampening their mutant powers, he can walk. As soon as they smash the machine to fight Sinister, they get their powers back and he falls to the ground. Like this is built into Xavier's story in a weird way. I don't remember the issues that specifically cover it, but I think it's linked to his battle with his original battle with the Shadow King.
There's a lot of good moments in here. Deathbird is not having this this little relationship happening, so she's moving at every turn to like not let it happen. So she puts this ancient thing out where Xavier has to wipe his mind of all memories of where he's from on Earth, and he agrees to it, but then at the last moment backs out because he starts remembering his X-Men. And he has this moment where he says, I realized my greatest gift, and he brings them into the astral plane and he sits them at a classroom table, and I guess his greatest gift was being a teacher and teaching people. So he kind of like taught that whole council about like nations that go around just like conquering people and this and that, and it gets pretty deep. Like, it's really good stuff, really good stuff. then he experiences a vision of what happened to the X-Men in previous episodes, along with visions of what might happen in the future, and he's so thrown back by it that he's like, I have to go back to my X-Men. So we know that he's not going to marry Lilandra, and Xavier is heading back at some point. That was pretty good. And then, you know, the Storm story, this was dope. How Storm got her powers back. It came to be that the gun actually did heal her, and the only thing that was holding her back was her fear.
Mm-hmm. His chamber cured her. They removed the radiation. Yeah.
So they go on a hunt to cure him of his demon bite, and it just, you know, strengthens the bond between these two of what they had to do. Forge knows that she can't stand dark places, so he wants to go with her anyway. But she eventually has to go into a dark place without him. She has that coming to terms moment with the adversary, and just her transformation scene.
We got storm magic finally.
Oh my goodness. Storm magic.
You know how many people came at me with like, what happened? She got a costume and long hair. I was like, because she's magic. She comes from a long line of magic.
They saw it from space. I like the fact that they showed the satellite that you could see what she was doing from space, and she transformed into the classic giant size X-Men outfit, and it was dope. And I was like, yes.
Have y'all seen the memes of people showing the old Storm action figure, and now this came about, and now people are pissed? Now she got the giant size X-Men costume on now.
Yeah, and she needs to keep that for a while, because
they need to chill out, because the action figure is on the way.
Yeah, 100%.
We're gonna, by the end of the year, we're gonna have 6 more Storm action figures.
John says not super happy to see Xavier returning. Magneto's better. Yeah, well, now that I've read more modern comics, like especially with the latest X-Men, I was like, Xavier's trash, bro. Like, he's lost his way so much.
He's no longer
unless he's just playing the part this time, which I'm hoping and praying that he's just playing along and he didn't screw them yet again for the 1000th time.
Is he in any of the 3 comic book covers they released for the new X-Men books? Is he on any of those covers?
No.
I got a feeling he's out of there.
They have a prisoner.
The thing is, like, they do a lot of X-Men characters dirty in the comics. That said, for the sake of this show, the Xavier we've gotten in the show is a good guy, just like the Cyclops we've gotten in the show is a good guy. So I just hope that, like, when Xavier shows up, it's just 3 episodes of, Mutants United kicking ass. And then maybe.
Did you say Cyclops is a good guy? Look at that. Cyclops is a good guy.
Who are you to judge? Who are you to judge?
I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
You are judging.
I'm just saying. Jean Grey. Is this Madeline or Jean Grey? One of them looks good.
Madeline's on the bed. Jean is the big, like,
Jean looks good. That's all I gotta say. But great episode. I can't wait till next week. Anybody got any last things to say about this episode?
I just can't stand Xavier.
Really?
comic book Xavier.
I was gonna say we're talking about
Comic
in the
book.
context of the episode.
Yeah. This one I'm okay with, but comic book Xavier is
Also, in the context of the episode, it appears that they're all learning about Genosha at the same time.
Yeah.
Because he seems to learn about it psychically, and Storm seems to learn about it on the television when she's done with her adventure.
Yeah. Excellent. The adversary was great. Wish we had more of that, says
We
Down
might.
Comics for Kids. Evil says you can really tell when they fired that guy that this was the worst written episode by far.
No,
He's written 2 seasons already, so he wrote this one as well.
Yeah. Because wasn't he the one that said that episode 8, 9, and 10 was supposed to be real big?
He said 8 is supposed to be worse than 5.
Yeah. 8, 9, he said 8, 9, and 10 are supposed to be over the top.
Trev the Shipping Guru was in the house.
I haven't liked this show yet. I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, and that scene came right after Jean kissed Wolverine. Disney promotes cheating to the 10th degree. You can't have a novella, baby, without this.
People back me up. This is all over the X-Men comics. People be cheating left and right.
X-Men is English novella, baby. That's what the X-Men is right there.
X-Men
read
is
X-Men.
messy AF.
There's no faithfulness or loyalty in the X-Men in the comics. Sorry. Hate to break it to you.
Magneto is Malcolm X and Professor Xavier. Yeah, that was what Stan Lee said. He had mirrored the 2 characters. Over.
Yeah, Stan Lee said that later in life, and I want to discontinue talking about that.
Why?
Why? Because that was not in his mind when he created the original X-Men.
How do you know? How do you know?
Because, dude, that only starts coming. Those quotes start coming from him.
Yeah, but wait. This is why I like to tell people like this. How do you know?
How do I know?
Have you been inside this man's mind? Were you there inside his brain when he created this?
All I have to do is read X-Men issues 1 through 50 to be inside his brain.
No, that you just have a thing that he's written from his mind. You don't have his whole mind. You don't know that. You're making an assumption.
See this though. Magneto in the early issues of X-Men. Does he come off as Malcolm X or just a full-on evil
when
ass?
you base something, no. He said he based the idea around it. When you base something, you're not matching it scene for scene of what they did.
I can see what you're saying.
On the idea of them, and it matches perfectly.
Yeah.
Later in life, the original X-Men, as Stan Lee wrote them, Magneto doesn't hold a candle, a resemblance, an inkling of an idea.
But that's 50 years. That's 50 issues afterwards.
No, we're talking about his whole old run. It's Chris Claremont that solidifies them as these more iconic roles of Malcolm X and MLK Jr. That comes later.
Wait. Where did he get that from? Where did he build upon that from? He built on that from Stan Lee saying, "This is what I based it on."
Listen, Stan Lee can say
if Stan wouldn't have did that, Chris wouldn't have been able to do little things that he wanted to do. So let's stop trying to take away from
you don't
Stan
know
Lee.
And I love Stan Lee, and I would never talk ill of the dead. But you don't know that he didn't say that much later and go, "Oh yeah, that's actually a really good idea." What if I say this?
Yeah,
I'm
sorry. He said it.
That's what I'm saying. So when you say
He's
you're not in his mind, you can't say you know either.
I didn't say I knew.
Well,
I
didn't say I knew. I'm going off of what.
You don't know.
I'm going off of what he said. You have to go off of what they say. You know what I mean?
When did he say that?
But it doesn't matter when he said it. It's what he said.
But I can say whatever
Any other thought against that is it may be a good theory against it, but it's still an assumption because you don't know.
Well, but what my point is you don't know either.
Yes,
so
that's true.
If I say something 50 years after I release it, and I'm like, well, I really meant this because that's the popular
if that's
narrative.
what you said, he never said that.
What are you talking about?
Like he didn't go back on what he said.
Because you're saying that Stan Lee said this, but you don't. But he said it well after it was published, not at the time. He said it later,
right?
So,
but he didn't.
It's easy to say that. Yeah, I said that. Because it's popular to say that.
But listen to that though, like that. Then we can't take anybody's word for anything. Then
100. I don't disagree.
You see what I'm saying? Like we have to base it on something. And I totally get your point. I totally get your point. I get it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I totally get your point. But like, it might have been false, but there's also percentages that say it could be true. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I'm just,
Great conversation, my friends. All right. Last little thing I want to talk about. Bizatch.
I'm one behind.
Oh no.
I'm one
That's
behind.
right.
I didn't watch.
You're not
this
really
week
missing
yet.
a lot. This last episode really didn't have a lot. Cliff, did you watch this last episode?
I haven't watched the last episode.
Okay, you didn't miss a lot either. All right, so
Is it
we'll wait
16?
for
We're
it.
not done yet, right? So that's
Did
good.
we determine that it's 16?
Yes,
Okay.
it is 16. Yeah,
And I bet you the last 3 are like an hour.
probably a little closer to that. You're not missing a lot in this. I'm not gonna spoil it for you since you didn't watch, but let's just say it's classic Bad Batch team trying to figure out something to get somewhere, and they kind of leave you like, oh yes, you know what I mean? Like, so we'll talk more about it when you guys get up to speed on that.
I'll probably watch both
All
of them on this Wednesday, so I can just get an hour worth of,
Evil, you said you see a 12-year-old watching this. What is he? Is he talking about X-Men? I think he's talking about X-Men.
He's talking about
A 12-year-old?
Probably not. Well, maybe.
Depends.
But a lot of it's gonna go right over their head too. So
Yeah. I do see a 12-year-old watching it. Not maybe like a 8-year-old or 9-year-old.
Yeah.
I could still see an 8 and 9-year-old watching it just because it's cartoons, it's X-Men, but they're not gonna understand really what's going on.
It's the whole scope of it.
Right. They're gonna get the real base notes and they probably enjoy it for that. But the real context of everything, they're gonna miss most of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of the
All right,
reverse of most cartoons though, because most cartoons are based on you target it to the 8-9-year-old, but then you have background jokes that are for the parents that have to sit there and watch it.
Okay,
You just say, ain't no kids care about this show.
That's
Agree.
true, but I want to throw this out there. What do you remember watching at 12 years old?
Mm-hmm.
What was the
Real
year? Give me the
Ghostbusters?
year. I'm sorry. Give me the year. I based it more on you.
1990,
Real Ghostbusters?
maybe 89.
That's a tough one.
Real
Yeah.
Ghostbusters?
I'm just saying.
I
By
was
the-
about a year or 2 or 3 into like X-Men,
Well,
like that
1990.
Chris Claremont run. So 90
Hang on,
Batman. That would be
by the
Batman
time
culture.
1990, I was 13.
1989 rolled around, I had seen Freddy Krueger movies,
Yes.
Friday the
Yes.
13th movies. I
Cliff is
watched people
correct.
get murdered left and right. I saw
Cliff is
movies
correct.
left and right, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
are we just sheltering children all of a sudden?
Well, you got to remember, our generation is the things that we saw during our upbringing, as opposed to what kids see today. It's not even in the same
That is true.
sphere.
That is true.
Mhm.
Well,
Think-
some would
and
argue that.
And I don't want to get blue with this, but think about how much porn you saw and how difficult it was and how accessible it is now.
Maybe.
Think about
Right.
how much. Think about it for a second, everybody. Just think about it.
Yeah, listen, that may be a little bit too extreme to my
Well,
point.
what I'm saying is kids today, what they see
Cliff
and what they
extreme?
consider
What?
normal, as opposed to what we consider normal 20 years ago, it's not the same.
Extreme to my point, Samuel. Extreme to not extreme to me, but extreme to my point. I'm just saying, like, I feel like stuff is written way better now, even for children's shows. There is far more depth than the things that we had. Everything that we had, it was all very contained to one episode, and a 2-parter was a big deal.
Yeah.
Diesel makes a great point. He says that you're also sneaking into that stuff. Freddy was rated R. I saw Freddy on video.
Oh, y'all are cute. That shit was right in my house. My brother was just right in the living room.
And there was nothing
Lee-
worse that back when we were growing up then. You're getting to the end of the episode. How are they going to wrap this up? And then to be continued, you're like, oh!
Yeah.
And then
Legion
if you-
says,
and then if
I
you had a
remember.
if you had a 3-parter, you're like, not again.
Legion says, I remember going into the woods with a verbal reassure map looking for the Playboy.
No, treasure map.
Right.
Fabled to be hidden there.
Yep.
It was there.
That guy saw a boob.
Yeah.
Talk to him.
I don't know, Cliff. I watch a lot of kids shows. There's no depth.
Again, Mark, I'm talking at 12-year-old kid level. I'm not talking about Paw Patrols. Like I'm not going down. I'm not going down there.
Larry said I saw Freddy Part 2 in the theaters.
Having said that, I can't recommend Bluey enough. And
Yeah.
I
and
love
Kip.
Bluey.
And
I
Kip.
gotta watch.
Kip
I
is
gotta
really
watch
funny
Bluey.
if you haven't watched Kip. Watch
Yeah.
Kip.
Yeah. All right,
And
ladies and
all
gentlemen.
those shows. Bluey does have depth.
Bluey's
Whoa.
amazing.
Yes.
We have this week's box office, my friends, for April 19th, 2024 through the 21st. Civil War comes in at number 1. Staying atop, added to 91 theaters. Abigail enters at 10 million.
I gotta go see
That
it.
actually looks all right.
Yeah, my fiance want to go see it. I won't have to take her.
Just a quick note.
I don't
This
think I want
is
to pay
the-
money for it, but I do want to see it.
Yeah.
This is the lowest box office since President's Weekend total. So it's taken a big dive. That week before, it was about 12 weeks or so. They did about 52. This one was about 60 altogether with everybody.
What do you think the reason for that is, though?
It's too expensive to go to movies. Granted, I know you go to Roosevelt, it's cheap in that, but most people don't have that option.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but do you think that there aren't enough smaller theaters across the country? You think it's strictly Regal and Hoyt's and whatever the other big one is? AMC?
I think you have those little theaters, but not as much as you have the big theaters.
Okay.
Not at all. Yeah.
I think the quarantine era was a big deal, and adding 2 people not wanting it, that and the change in disposable income, the combination is there. You know,
that's fair. I would say inflation.
And chain theaters are expensive. It's. I don't think it's any one thing. I think it's all the things. You know, some things are just not that black and white. It's just like,
so
you
like
would
to go.
say that the slate of movies out there is not the problem.
Yeah.
No.
And Abigail is a comedy vampire movie. I mean, like we should really be digging into that.
I don't see it as there's bad movies out there. It's for 2 people to go to an AMC theater and get food, because I'm counting the whole food and all that stuff with it.
Well, that's why you eat before you go.
But it's the experience, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
I get it, but it's the experience. You know what I mean? Like,
it will cost you around 50 to 60 bucks.
It cost us about 75 to 80 bucks.
Damn, you know what? This is why I'm single. This is why I'm single, because a mofo will go with me and I'll be like, don't worry, baby, hold on till we get inside the theater. And then out of my pants, I'll pull out 2 cold sodas and I'm like, how did you hide that in your pants?
So it's
and
like,
then
it's between...
I'm like, open your bag, and then the popcorn's hiding in the bag. Like,
I mean, we sneak the candy in. That's not the problem.
That's my date night. My date night is I'm sneaking everything in. And if I'm feeling real good, I'll support the theater and buy the stuff. But mostly, I'm like, we got it all hidden in my bag. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though, and again, you know me. Again, I like to play devil's advocate, but is it just movies though? Because it's not like you watch, if you're still into sports, you watch sporting events and the venues aren't full, and it's way more expensive to go see one sporting event. Let me put it, for example, I went and took my sons to go see a Bills game last year, and it cost us, I'm trying to think what the tickets were like $260 a piece. And we didn't have, we were like way down.
Do you think more people go watch sporting events or go to the movies?
What's that?
Do you think more people go to sporting events or go to the movies?
I think it's probably.
I think it's movies though. Because you could see yourself.
I think more people go to the movies more often, but I would say per dollar they spend more on sporting events.
That's correct.
They might go to a sporting event and spend like what they would spend on 5 movies.
Yeah. Totally correct.
Yeah.
But it's not like they don't go to the sporting event. They still do that too.
Yeah.
That goes along with tradition and sport. Sports is just this different animal.
Yeah.
Because
but I would say movies are too, though.
You know what I mean?
By the way, hold on. Let me go one step further. I keep forgetting. Regal and AMC have those $20 unlimited ticket things now.
They do.
So like that saves you a ton of money, and you don't miss out on new releases. That $20 monthly thing, you could go see a new release. You just can't see it in 3D. Woo!
That's for people who like to go to the movies a lot, though, because there's
But
sometimes
my
people
point is,
don't go to movies for like 2 months, and then you spent $40 for this thing for 2 months.
but the thing is, we had a movie going culture, right? And
I think we still do.
Right, and we can still keep it affordable if people want. The thing is, like, there's too many things for a family. It's too expensive nowadays.
You're right. Plus the technology. The technology has made home life theater a big thing now. Like
technology has made home life
have the theater experience at home.
Correct.
You know,
but
I would still say I go see the tentpole movies in the theater because there's nothing like it.
Because
all the Marvel movies, some of the DC,
which is still happening. Like, say Deadpool Wolverine, that's going to be $1 billion movie.
Oh, 100%.
Dune was making money. Yeah. It's these movies that are getting hit.
Listen, Godzilla X Kong is a theatrical experience, I assure you.
Yeah,
because it's just big, blazing fighting. It's great.
So I would say too, though. I mean, maybe we're slightly not biased, but. Yeah. We're gonna go see I mean, I personally, I can't speak for all three of you, but I go see those MCU movies first couple days because I know it's gonna get spoiled if I don't.
I'm sorry. Circumstances. Let's see Bizzle talk.
Oh,
He's on the council of comics, ladies and gentlemen. He's got to fight his way in here.
He does.
Yeah. So it's all about, like you said, the family experience. Like, or my case. I used to go to midnight releases for certain video games like Madden, 2K, Call of Duty, and it's just being around like-minded people that you want to be around. You could talk about the games and things like that nature. And when you go to movie theaters, like when I went to Avengers Endgame, the way the crowd reacted to certain scenes, like Captain America with the hammer and everything, it's fun to be around that. But like you said, these type of movies, it's not the same as those. So I'm done talking now. Hashtag.
I remember the Madden releases. I don't go anymore.
I don't go anymore.
They changed the game, but a ton enough.
I mean, listen, video games are bigger than anything we're talking about here. Video games is the biggest thing in entertainment.
Yeah, but you know what's funny though is I don't know if there's as much with release parties with that because a lot of you can download them now.
Right,
you don't even have to go out.
I'm just talking about money wise, the numbers. Nothing's beating video games.
Absolutely,
nothing at all. All right, let's just read this real quick and then we'll move on. Godzilla vs. Kong still at number 3, pulled in about 9 million, only dropped about 40%. That's cool. The Ministry of Gentlemanly Warfare.
I want to see that. I want to see. That's a Guy Ritchie, right?
9 million. Yes. Yeah, Henry Cavill's in this, I believe.
Oh my God, it's filled with all my favorite sexy men. There are 3 sexy Henrys in that movie for me alone.
I forgot about that trailer. Yeah.
Spy versus Family Code. White.
What is that?
I don't know. I gotta click on this. What is
this?
That
just screams at me.
Oh, it's anime.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
It's anime. After receiving an order to be replaced in Operation Strix, Lloyd decides to help Anya win a cooking competition at Eden Academy by making the director's favorite meal in order to prevent his replacement.
That just screamed to me of Spy Kids 3D.
Yeah. I think that's what it's about. I think it's pretty much that. Kung Fu Panda comes in at number 6 with 4 million. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire still on this list. I gotta see this now. It's not dropping. Well, it's dropping, but it's like staying in the middle. You know what I mean? So it's got to be something. Dune Part 2 still in there. I was excited because I watched a video about Dune.
What's Dune's total?
Oh, right there.
I just want to know how far we're
695 million.
Yeah.
Man, 750. We're thinking it's gonna get.
Could make 7. It could make 7.
Oh, I
don't know about 750.
Week. It'll get 7.
Yeah, I don't know about
4 this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 750 maybe. It's got to stay in the theaters though.
The last one I saw was Dune in 1980.
Get a jump because there is the 80s Dune.
Yeah, that's the last time I watched Dune.
Oh, you got to see these new ones. They're good.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, here's the
thing.
80s Dune. I remember watching, going, "What is this? This is well done. This is really well done. It's a time commitment. I will say that, but it's well done."
Okay. Hey, I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. Time commitment.
No, hey, so then you're with me. Then. You're with me then. I watch those all the time. And people we watched the extended ones.
Yes.
And I was all for it.
I was always that in the Hobbit.
For those of you that don't know, there is a Dune television show coming out on HBO Max at the end of this year. It's called Dune Prophecy, and it takes place 10,000 years before the first Dune movie. So it's going to talk about the origins of the Bene Gesserit.
No, I was going to say it's the witches.
Yeah, and how they started the prophecy. And when I learned about the lore of Dune, I was like, oh, that's fascinating. They were a technology-based people that decided they wanted to kill all technology. And they had like this huge war where they were killing all the robots and everything. And now that was before they discovered spice. And now, since they discovered
let the spice flow.
Yeah, after all those years, the spice gives the humans ability to act like computers. That's why you don't see you see technology, but you don't see like AI type technology and stuff like that. So I thought that was very, very fascinating. Very fascinating. Okay, Monkey Man pulled in 2 million. First Omen 1.7. The Long Game 500,000. Shrek 2. Arthur the King. Sasquatch Sunset up 397%. Wicked Little Letters. Escape from Germany. Bob Marley's still on there. Immaculate Imaginary. Like Chimera. That's Thrawn Ship. Housekeeping for Beginners, One Life, The Beast, We Grown Now, and of course, number 25 pulling in 28 G's. Stress Positions. I don't know if I want to click on that, but you know,
it's only in one theater.
As Cliff switches the screen and clicks on it himself.
I'm already there.
All right, so that's your box office for this week, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys saw anything, please leave in the comments below. All right, your homework for last week, ladies and gentlemen, your homework indeed was Cliff's Cliff's trilogy was M. Night Shyamalan's Unbreakable Split Glass trilogy. Called, what was it? The 177 East Train. It's called the East Train trilogy. Is what they.
Oh, is that what they're calling it now?
Yes, I looked that up, watched some videos. Whatever the train was called.
Yeah, it's 177.
That's the name of the trilogy because they've referenced it in each movie, going forward. Let me bring it up here.
You know what would be interesting, and I was thinking about this while watching this movie, is you know how there's the all world encompassing Pixar where if you there's a whole theory where they're all the same world and this time somebody figured out how they all work together. If you did that with M. Night Shyamalan, because he's in all of his movies, so it'd be interesting to see how somebody figured out how to make it so it's all one world and how it explains why he's in all of them.
Did you know that M. Night Shyamalan was the writer for Stuart Little?
I didn't, but that.
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah, I just found that out.
Listen, the dude's talented, although he has unfortunately been dragged into things that have not made use of that talent, or that talent was terribly executed.
Well, there's
a list.
Is not all of his movies are great, but even his bad ones are like, it's okay, it's watchable.
No, I can't say that. I disagree.
I mean, I didn't love Signs, but it's watchable.
No, it's not Signs. It's Avatar: The Airbender.
Yeah, but MTV is the real villain in that story, and I feel terrible because to this day, even with the knowledge that MTV is the real villain, he still takes the hit most of the time for that movie.
Also, The Lady in the Lake, The Village. Oh no.
Oh, The Village, dude. No, The Village.
The Village disappointed me. I thought like
The Happening.
The Happening was disappointing. He's half and half. He's like you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're gonna get. You could get a great movie. You could get a dud. But this one. This movie right here.
I gotta be honest with you. It's good, and I like this movie. Right?
I love this movie.
God, y'all really love it, but this movie is boring.
Top 10 for me now.
Nope. 100% Cliff.
top 10 for
You
me now.
gotta stop, Cliff, because you and I agree every week now.
Yeah.
No,
I
this is not boring.
For
This
me,
movie was not
boring.
boring
The thing
to
is,
me
I
at
like
all.
this movie, but
Same.
my point is, it's paced really slow.
it's very slow.
That's my only complaint.
You know,
There's
so
long
lovely.
stretches of nothing.
Yeah,
I like
right,
that.
exactly. It's because the pacing is crazy, but that's
Same
not to
here.
say I don't enjoy it. But this is not a movie that I'm throwing on all the time.
Now, when this movie starts, they put this thing.
Is this
before
true?
This is
Um,
it's pretty accurate.
from around 2000. There are 35 pages and 124 illustrations in the average comic book. A single issue ranges in price from $1. Remember those days to
That's
over
what
$140,000.
The one that threw me is the last one, with average comic collector owned 3,300. I went way more than that, but like
Me
the
too.
average comic collector,
I'm not an average comic collector. I'm way above that.
This
Like
was
3 times.
this was 24 years ago.
I haven't done my
True.
inventory in a while, but last time I
Yeah,
checked,
this was
I
24
I was
years
close
ago,
to
though.
10,000.
Yeah,
I'm almost
close
at
to
11.
10,000. Stop it, Green Shirt Guy.
Yeah, I'm at.
I mean,
I'm at
I'm
around.
probably well over that now, but it's been a while.
I'm close to like 11,000 right now.
172,000 comics are sold in the U.S. every day. Over 62,780,000 each year. The average comic collector owns 3,000 and will spend approximately 1 year of his or her life reading them. I thought that was very, very good. That was deep.
Yeah.
That was mad good.
Especially that last one.
Yeah. There are so many Easter eggs and things in this movie that you can. Oh my goodness, the way it's shot. For instance, in the beginning of the movie, when Glass is being born, it's on a mirror. It's on the glass.
Yeah.
Because it's when they move in, you see that it's a mirror that they're looking at. When you'll see a lot of different shots of just them either looking on the TV screen at the glass or they're in the glass. It's just so many things. Specifically, like this one right here, where
I
upside
love this
down.
shot. 100%.
Yeah.
There are a dozen upside down shots in this movie done specifically. When the little girl is looking at him in the beginning, upside down.
Well, how about
And
when
then
his
his
son's
son's
watching the TV?
upside down. And then when Glass falls down the steps, he sees the gun upside down. And then when he's lifting the weights, his son comes from the upside down to look over at him.
Before that, his son's watching TV, laying on the couch upside down, watching and flicking his upside down.
Yeah.
And then he flips over when he sees the train.
Yeah. So this is basically a story of supposedly in the world there are people who are at the opposite spectrums of whether to be totally sick and brittle or be super strong and not. Glass, that's his body. Like his body was born broken and everything. So his whole life is super brittle. So he's made it he said there has to be somebody on the other side who's super strong. And he was studying all these natural disasters that happened. And he was waiting for the line, sole survivor of these things. And he finally sees one for this character right here. And he goes try to find him and talk to him. There are no major superhero fighting scenes in this.
None.
So this was probably made on a relatively low budget. This movie.
Yeah.
Super low budget. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because there's really no special effects. There's nothing like that. And he was able to tell the story of how a guy realized he had superpowers.
I have a question. Do you think this movie was carried by The Sixth Sense?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Say that again.
Do you think this movie was carried by the movie Sixth Sense?
You mean do you think people saw this because they saw The Sixth Sense?
Correct. Because you got the same main actor.
I think to some degree a lot of directors do that. But any movie by the same director, a lot of times is the next one is carried by whatever the last one was. So if the last one's a dud, you'll see a dip. But if the last one was well received, it's gonna the box office is gonna be higher.
Because the way that the Sixth Sense had a twist at the end, and then this one had a twist at the end, you think people watch this film hoping that this one has the same type of twist as the Sixth Sense had?
When you go into M Night, you're looking for a twist.
Well, you expect one,
You
100%.
expect one,
Yeah. Almost like if you go to a Marvel movie, you want to stay to after the credits.
Yes.
Yeah. I really loved this movie. I didn't like how it ended. Just
I
because
didn't mind it.
it wasn't the same. I don't know how to explain it. Like I loved the whole
That's
movie.
the part that I
But
actually
just
liked.
that ending, it was like, and then it ended. I was like,
Yeah.
That I liked up until the pause with the text on the screen. That bothered me.
yeah.
The text
That's
on
what
the screen bothered me. If you don't give me
yeah,
the text,
that's what bothered me right there. And then I realized, wait a minute, they already had the major fight scene in the apartment. That was the major scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay. All right, so guys, let's hear some stuff about this real quick.
The shot where he's talking to the doctor, and the doctor is one of my favorite actors who had a big role in House of Cards, if you remember, if anybody watched that. With the shot where it's him talking to the doctor, but in the extreme foreground is the other semi-survivor, and then they're talking, and all of a sudden the blood.
The red, the blood.
So well done. I was like,
Yeah.
that's genius.
Yeah, definitely. I like this scene when his son looks up to him. He's like, I'm just a regular human being. He's just like, why do you keep saying that? Like, you're totally not. Like,
No, you know where they're adjusting weights in the basement. He goes, how much was that? He goes, I put more on, Dad. I put more on.
Yeah.
This is really dangerous. Don't do this. In fact, back up.
Yeah.
But the way they shot that was cool because he thought he was taking it off, and all you saw was the kid walking back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
You hear the weight, but you don't see him putting it on and stuff. And he's like, well, I put it on.
Yo, I thought it was funny because then when you look at it, not only is all the weight on, there's paint cans on the end too.
Yeah.
How about we never fully get an explanation as to why him and the wife are, separated, as it were.
Yeah,
but they still live in the house.
Yeah, but it's separate bedrooms.
What did I learned something from that, from like behind the scenes. There was a moment that he had where he had a nightmare or something. And he couldn't, for some reason, he couldn't find solace in anything. It wasn't his wife. It was in nothing. I don't know if they mentioned in the movie, but that was like that. And that's why they stay like, that's filmed. Every time you see them in the beginning, you see them in separate rooms, or separate halls. And it's only when they finally come back together that you see them together. But it has to do also with the car accident.
Yeah.
She was in the car accident.
Was that her? That was supposed to be her?
Yeah.
I didn't get that because it didn't look enough like her. And you could tell it was him because I don't know how they did that because that was well before CG is what it is now.
Yeah.
That was her, and he faked being hurt because he loved her so much because she hated football.
Right.
Like she hated football. And he gave up football for her. He gave it all up for her, and he faked like he was hurt.
So I have a second question. If they made this into a comic book, will y'all go out and get it?
No.
No.
It had to be a movie for you guys?
I don't know. It'd have to be like, I don't know. It'd have to be, because then you'd have to continue it from, I guess, from Glass, or are you talking about like in between times?
Well, no, just this movie, like how have Sin City, how they made Sin City, but the reverse. Make a comic book shot for shot, like with this movie. Into a comic book.
I don't think I buy it.
I'd buy the first issue.
The part that bothered me too, and as a comic book collector too, was the scene where Glass is in the shop, acting like a zombie, and the guy's like, "Well, I'm gonna push you outside because I gotta go get something to eat," and he keeps knocking on with comics. I'm like, "Look, dude, I understand.
Dude,
these aren't ball books, but like, Come on,
Yeah, but
man.
still.
Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
gotta stop
annoying.
doing that. That
Yeah.
It
bothered
was
me as a
mad
comic
annoying.
collector.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
it did its job, I think, because I was like, oh, I can't stand this dude right
You
now.
gotta stop
What's
doing
it
that.
doing? I guess it ends with Elijah finally convincing him who he is. He finds out his powers are like he can touch people and know what's going on. They find out his weakness is water. I think that's everybody's weakness. That's why I was like water, like drowning. I think everybody drowns, can
Oh, yeah.
drown.
Right,
So that's
but
not
he's
cheap.
near invulnerable to absolutely everything, you know.
But remember, he was 5 minutes at the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
So
True.
even his superpower wasn't like completely knocked out. It was because he had the superpower that he could last through there. So water hurt him, but not like kill him instantly though.
True.
No, but I think no, I think that I think that them, getting the water out of him, doing CPR, I think that is what allowed his superpower to kick back in and restore him.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
He eventually trying to test out his powers, comes upon a kidnapper that's kidnapping people. He goes to the house, sees that the kids are there and stuff, and he kind of fights the guy. The guy throws him in a pool over a cliff thing,
Right.
and no pun intended, cliff. But and he's drowning, and the kids save him when they stick the little pipe through, and he comes up, and he has that moment, the epic moment where he's standing up, and then he goes fights the guy, and he kills the guy, he saves the kids, and then I like the scene with his son when they're sitting at the table, and the son sees the news article of what happened.
Yeah.
With that,
And he looks at him.
art
He
on
looks
it.
at me and is like, "You're right. You're right. You're right."
Well, he just didn't say anything. He just goes,
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he doesn't say it, but he moves his lips. He says, "You were right."
right.
And then he's like, "Shh," like that. And the kid's relief was incredible.
The part that got me with that though was, I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, we're gonna show the worst of the worst, but you let the rapist go. You let the people hit people over the head with bottles go.
Mhm.
And what was the other one? There was one before that. It was like 3 before you get to the kidnapper. I'm like,
I think the reason he just let them go is because these were not people that he could
Yeah.
capture and prove anything. Like saving those kids was like no one's going to question that.
yeah, but he doesn't know the kids are there at the time. He just knows that he
No,
killed the other guy.
but his psychometry, or what is it called? Psychometry? Like
Yeah.
it gave him enough that he's like, I think this is the one I have to follow. Everything else looked like it was a past occurrence. That dude gave him the vibe that like, oh, this is an active problem here.
And how ridiculous it is that the guy, I got the feeling the guy had escaped from prison and had just gotten out of prison.
Mhm.
Because that's why he's got that orange jumpsuit. You're still wearing that? Like,
Facts.
how ridiculous is that?
Facts.
Well, I don't think it was intentionally the orange jumpsuit. I just think he was trying to do things with color in this movie.
Yeah.
So our hero was green, our villain was purple, and then this villain that we're going to test him against, we're just using coincidentally orange because he's a criminal. But I don't think it was like he was literally wearing the jumpsuit. I think that was a directorial visual thing for the audience.
Okay. I mean, I'll buy into that because it doesn't say anything on the back of him when he's laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
The other thing though is in the newspaper article, we get the whole parka, right? And these people clearly would have seen security on the back of it. So he's gonna get caught. Like you're gonna know exactly where he works.
One of the people that he touched, if you remember the woman with the kid with the purple coat, that's the other guy grown up in the next movie.
Yeah, that's right. That's supposed to be Split's.
Yeah.
I never seen Split, so
Oh,
yeah.
You're in for a treat.
I have not seen the next two movies, so
Yeah, this one is the slowest of the three, if that gives you any relief, as it does me.
I didn't feel this one was slow.
Me either.
It's so slow.
I thought it was great.
You know what? And maybe because I've watched it a few times, it's. But yeah, I mean, I loved it the first time I watched it, but on every rewatch where I know what's coming, it's been slower for me.
It's just really slow. It's still a good movie. It could have been an hour and 20 if you sped things up. There's 25 minutes of wasted time in this movie.
No, definitely
No,
not.
100%.
Not
Where
my
conversations
opinion.
are just drawn out for no
It's
reason.
done on purpose.
Well,
Everything's done on purpose in
it
this
doesn't
movie.
build the tension where he's chasing that dude with the gun for 10 minutes. Come on.
It was
Like,
10 minutes.
Like
It was
he's
10 minutes.
that scene's 10 minutes long.
It might have felt
Oh,
10
yeah?
minutes to you, but it's not 10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes long.
It's 10 minutes
You
long.
No, it's not.
From-
With him
Yeah,
hopping
him
after
go
that
back
guy,
and
it's
check-
not
back
10
and check.
minutes.
From him
It
at
is.
the stadium to
It's
him
not.
laying upside down is 10 minutes.
Really?
No, it is not 10
It
minutes.
didn't feel like it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It may have felt like when you were watching it, but time-wise, it wasn't. All right.
Yeah.
Let's give our notes because we gotta get out of here. Cliff, you're up first.
All right.
Score, please.
So I still give this movie an 8.5. My only gripe with this film is that it's slow, and that's it. Everything else I enjoy. I like the acting. The cinematography is incredibly impressive for the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Acting great. The visuals great. The lead into the surprise ending great. The SVU stopping word on the screen thing at the very end. Interesting choice to go
Don't
with.
like
So it could have been a 9 if that didn't have such a jarring effect at the end of the film on me.
All right. Great.
Little Easter eggs, like the Channel 4 News logo is the Fantastic Four logo. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
All right. Cliff goes at an 8.5. Green shirt guy.
So again, I thought it was slow, very slow in spots. I did enjoy it. So this is not. I don't like it. I would never watch it again. I think it was slow in spots, and the wanton disregard for comics. Being a comic book movie, and especially at the time, being a comic book movie the only scene in a comic book store, the wanton disregard for comics. After this guy's supposed to be the big comic book guy, I got to give it 7.5.
Okay. 7.5. See,
That's
Bizzle.
So I enjoyed this movie so much, even back in 2000. I was just a young man during the time this movie came out. I wasn't really fully collecting. I was on and off. And I really love this movie for the fact that it was a comic book movie, but not a comic book movie. And I really like that about it. I had no problem with the pacing because I was good with that. Like Green Shirt Guy, when he was messing up the comic books, that made me cringe more now that I'm more of a comic book collector now. But back then, it just made me like, but why? So I had to give this a solid 9.
Okay. I will also give it a 9. I thought it was one of the
Wow.
best superhero movies ever made. It's the perfect grounded superhero type thing.
Mhm.
I didn't feel this way when I first watched it. This is like I've watched clips before, but I can say this is like the second or third time I watched it, and I was just blown away. I was like, "This is so good." I'll give it a 9. There you go.
Our average is an 8.5 on this one.
8.5. Great movie. All right. So next week, your homework, council. You are to watch Split.
Ooh, this was
That
a
is-
tough one. Of
that's the
three,
second
this is
part.
the toughest one to watch.
It is?
Not because it's a bad movie. It's just psychologically
Yeah.
distressing.
Okay. And this
part
I'm gonna
2.
watch this.
And what's his name? I can't remember the Scottish actor. I'm blanking on his name right now. Is amazing in this, but he's straight up creepy.
Okay.
All right. So
Yeah.
make sure you watch Split Part 2
James
of
on
this
what Netflix?
trilogy. And that will be next week, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, make sure you tune in for the New Keys and Hot Comics of the Week live podcast at 8 p.m. You get a chance to win our monthly giveaway, which is valued at over $300. So make sure you tune in at 8 p.m. so you can get a chance to win a duck. I know everybody's excited about that. And then on Wednesday, we got New Comic Book Day Live, episode number 95, live at 8 p.m. We switched over last week to the live mode. We're continuing it for this week. I'm going to get C Bizzle's picture up in there somewhere. Don't worry. He'll be in there. Make sure you tune in at 8 p.m. We're doing everything we did pre-recorded, but just live. All right. Nothing else we have to promote, right? That is it. Oh, yes, there is something else. I'm so sorry. The Sunday night lineup continues after us, my friend, at 6 p.m. The Sunday session is going on. So as soon as you get out of here, go over to the Sunday session and chill out with them. And then at 7 p.m., kicking it with K-Pop, Smokes the Fox. At 8:30 at week's end. And then closing it out is Trev, the Shipping Guru, and Evil. It says 9 on the card, but 10.
Well, it's
it's 9 Central Time. There you go.
Yeah,
9 Central.
yeah.
My apologies. So go check them out as well. Let's just give a shout out to everybody in these comments that's been here tonight, because we had a lot of people tuning in tonight, and I'm always happy about people tuning in. Dun, 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 put this music a little bit. All right. From the top, Las Cruces 1971 was here. Thank you for being here. Evil's Comics was here. Thank you for being here. Phil's Treehouse was in the house. Thank you for being here. Big L Larry Jackson was in the house. Thank you for being here. Meat Wad #1 was in the house. Thank you for being here.
Meat Wad.
Great name, right? John's Comics with Kids was in the house. Thank you for being here. The Canadian Survivalist was in the house. Thank you for being here. Circumstances in the house. Thank you for joining us tonight. Did I say Legion of Comics? I'll say it again. Legion of Comics was in the house. Thank you very much. As we go down, Bobby De La Ghetto was in the house. Thank you for joining us tonight. Going down. Trev, the Shipping Guru. Of course, he'll be on tonight doing the closeout for the Sunday lineup. Shout out to Trev for being on tonight. Mellow Dope Live was in the house. Thank you for joining us tonight. Kenneth Bird. Shout out to Kenneth Bird. Nothing but love, my friend. Thank you for being here tonight. Comic Cap Collectibles. Thank you for being here tonight. Almost there. Geek Out with Roscoe's in the house. He's part of that. And then also, he didn't make the announcement yet, right? For Monday?
Nope. No one's
I don't-
making it.
Okay, so I'm not gonna mention it yet. Who else is in the house tonight? Christina Payne is in the house tonight. Thank you for joining us, Christina. All right, guys, so that's our show. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. for new keys and hot comics of the week. All right, and make sure you do your homework for next Sunday. It'll be Split Part 2 of the Unbreakable trilogy. So, for myself, for Cliff, for C Bizzle, for a green shirt guy, for Phil chilling on a boat somewhere,
I'm on a boat.
and the rest of the Council of Comics, we love you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Please remember to like and subscribe. Peace.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes?